Technology.
The following special presentation is brought to you with...
These days, technology makes it difficult, maybe even impossible, to tell what's real and what's not.
Listen to me, you little filthy punk. I don't think I made myself clear. I don't want your drugs. I don't want your money. I want your sorry ass out of my house and off my street.
Let's go, baby. You can do it. Come on, I believe in you. Have faith.
Out of my house and off my street.
I believe in you. Have faith. Have faith. Faith.
These days, technology makes it difficult, maybe even impossible, to tell what's real and what's not.
Listen to me, you little filthy punk. I don't think I made myself clear. I don't want your drugs. I don't want your money. I want your sorry ass out of my house and off my street.
Let's go, baby. You can do it. Come on, I believe in you. Have faith.
Out of my house and off my street.
I believe in you. Have faith. Have faith. Faith.
The following special presentation is brought to you with full stereo sound.
FUTURESHOCK.
I want to live a real life. I don't want to dream any longer.
The whole point is that it's only science fiction until it's reality.
FUTURESHOCK.
a scholar and a gentleman.
Thank you.
Okay, peace, peace. Peace and blessings to you all. Welcome back. Episode 120 with yours truly. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, shout out to my Mega Trump. I'm telling you, shout out to my Mega Trump, man. Doing it real big. Yeah, that's Mega. We'll get into it here. That's an M. Shout out to the chat, man. Good to see you guys. Wow, yes. It's just every week. And it's really wild. It's really wild how these shows, it seems like everything we discuss, something pops up the next week regarding something we've discussed. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It's wild. Before we really dive in, let's just start it off with just the trailblazing Trump is doing right now. Yeah, roller coaster, non-stop. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shawana, good to see you as well, everybody else. Yeah, I saw this the other day. South Africa's confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. And I think these are white people, I believe. So-called, right? Because none of us are crayons, but anyhow. It is a bad situation that the radical left media doesn't want to so much as mention. Again, always back to the left-right paradigm. Every single time they have to keep it within this paradigm as a massive human rights violation. Oh, that's a human rights violation. It's interesting how plenty of other human rights violations just go completely ignored. But anyway, at a minimum, is happening for all to see. The United States won't stand for it. We will act. Also, I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed. Well. Fascinating. Trump is just laying down the law. He's just going in, just blazing, right? I look at it this way, okay? Let me pull this up here. I had posted. Wait, no, that's not it. Let me pull this up for you guys. 1 second here. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah, this is where we're at now. What a week! What an interesting week. Now all of a sudden, guess who's in the news out of nowhere? Yeah, Soros, directly relating to what we've been talking about, this decentralized de-globalization effort of the independent billionaire class libertarians against the globalists, the old school aristocratic globalists. And today, or this week, we have Soros on the menu. Now, check it out. I call it poetic justice. It's like poetic justice, okay? The way he's going in and just slashing. It reminds me of those old 80s commercials, those old furniture store commercials. I'm going to slash all the prices. Everything gots to go. Like he's selling furniture or something. That's how zany all of this stuff is. So I look at it as overcompensation. These are just some concepts and ideas and terms that popped in my head, right? Overcompensation, overzealous, vindictive, key term, overcorrection. We'll get there. Overcorrection. I believe all on purpose. All on purpose. The plebs will praise their own destruction. Yeah, poetic justice. Poetic justice for what? What do I mean? Poetic justice. Poetic justice. Well, let's think about it. Peace to you. Let's think about it. What have we conservatives been going through for the past however many years now? Yeah, we want some justice. We're upset. We're sick and tired of all of this. Now, I get it. We've been talking about this. I understand. But this is an overcorrection. This is going beyond. Now, some things, again, we'll talk about them today, are good. There's a lot of very interesting things popping off, happening, especially considering taxes and IRS. But what are we served up with first? U.S. aid. Oh my goodness, guys. I mean, this, we're going to get there. We're going to have a whole short segment on that. Anyhow, this does look like to be this type of poetic justice, and everyone's backing it because we're pissed off. We're tired. We're done. We're over it. And sometimes when you put anger and emotion behind yourself a little bit too much, you lose your logic and you overcorrect, right? You overcompensate. You push a bit too hard. Now, someone say we ain't pushing hard enough. And I understand. I understand that. But let's dig into this a little bit, right? Let's dig into this a little bit. Now, I saw this here, and it's like, listen, man, this is what I mean by this blind fury. Remember that movie? That was a good one. You guys remember Blind Fury? I used to really like that with Rutger Hauer, I think. Rutger Hauer? Yeah. It's like Blind Fury, swinging swords, Bushido blades with your eyes closed. You might lop somebody's head off on accident. We got to be careful with this stuff. What is this? I will be signing an executive order next week, ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws, which don't work. Back to plastic, he says. Back to plastic? Tone deaf much? Has this guy been paying attention for the past, at least year or two? The whole Maha thing. I mean, microplastics, all the studies, all the stuff coming out now. This is what I'm talking about. It's ignorance. And in the last short I posted, I was trying to describe this very emotional, reactionary, ignorant rightist movement that is just going to trip over its own feet. And it already is tripping over its own feet. It's like, listen, man, just because the woke is the whatever doesn't mean we have to be this hardcore anti-woke thing. It's black and white, black and white thinking. It lacks nuance, and it's crazy, right? So go back to plastic, he says. I thought this was just, and this was today. I think he posted this today, not long ago. I'd say, listen, these paper straws suck, by the way. They're horrible. Have you ever used them before? They're horrible. Nightmarish. You better sip that thing down in literally 30 seconds, or you're going to be sucking down all types of particles, and you won't even be able to get anything through that damn thing. Whoever thought up these paper straws, I mean, listen, man, give it a rest. Pack it up. Seriously. They're horrible. And I guess they're good for the environment or what have you, but there's other options. There's bamboo, which works great, right? Those are actually pretty cool. There's other types of resin straws, I think, that work. Why plastic, bro? Are you even thinking? And this is what I mean. No one's thinking. Everyone's just reacting. It's absolutely insane and totally ridiculous, but it's on purpose. Maybe not with this response, because Trump, I'm not saying he's not an intelligent guy. He wouldn't be where he's at if he wasn't, but sometimes he gets a little ahead of himself. Now, politics are never the answer. Our problems today aren't political. Well, at least they've become political, we'll say that. But politics aren't going to fix our issues. Especially politics, because that's all we're being given right now. Politics are not going to fix our issues. And it's crazy how the left and the right are so inundated by all this propaganda and all these influencers, propagandists, that people can't see outside of politics. We get to the point now where people are saying, well, it's the lesser of both evils. Well, it's the best we got. Oh, well, we just got to trust those who've been screwing us over our entire life to help us out. As if the people, as if our communities, right? As if we don't have any influence on our environments, right? We've all given up. Everyone's just given up, it seems. It's sad. It is. Dangers of spite and the workings of the flesh. I really see a lot of spiteful behavior on the right. And it's really juvenile. It's very, very juvenile and immature. And it's going to be the end of a movement by design. People call it a black pill. It's a real pill. People just don't want the truth. And it's interesting how people in truth movements can't handle it. Blows me away. Matter of time. Matter of time. Now, let's continue with some clips here. I saw this to buttress the idea. This one here. Much of Trump's actions, actually, let me bring it down a bit. Much of Trump's actions are mean-spirited, harsh, and spiteful. Is this what his voters wanted? Interesting. It's an interesting perspective when we think about how he's coming across, right? A little heavy-handed, maybe. And again, I know some of y'all are probably like, he ain't doing enough. I get it. We're pissed. Justified. But let's be careful. Come, let's reason together, right? Let's think. Let's slow our horses a bit and see what the hell is happening around us. Now, I wrote this here on Twitter. New manifest destiny. That's what we're really seeing. Digital colonialism, a networked imperialism is Networked imperialism is transforming the new world system. Big Daddy Warp Speed is playing the bull in a china shop perfectly. Yes, isn't he? I think this is the role he's kind of playing right now. And it might be a little authentic in that he is kind of a bull in a china shop. He's literally the perfect person to play the position and role. It's just perfect for him. But that's what he's doing. He's creating chaos magician. Me and Brother Theo did a stream on this way back in 2017. And that was the topic. Trump as a chaos magician that's just going to come through and just whip us all up into a frenzy, right? Dismantle and disorient, whilst build back better. It isn't to say good things aren't happening. See, that's what the people, black pill, that's what they tend to they fail to realize. It's not like some good things aren't happening. Some good things are happening. There are wins. We've said this many, many times. And if I hear another person tell me, well, God's in control. Duh. Of course God's in control. What do you mean? Right? We know God's in control. We understand that. But there's boots on the ground that need a talking to. Okay? There's people out in the world, friends and families of ours, that don't see things that way. I don't preach to the choir. I try to speak to as many people as I can. And I tend to target people who don't think the same way as me. We need to realize the depth of this. Everyone's just thinking in little boxes, and it's dangerous. It's not going to get us anywhere. In fact, it's going to keep us where we've always been. Here we are. Check this out. Let's get into the U.S. AIDS epidemic. Yeah, it's not all what the Musk is telling you. It's not all that Trump is selling. Apparently, U.S. aid is currently being shut down by Elon Musk. Purchases about $2 billion a year of rice, wheat, lentils, and peas from American farmers. Iowa farmers are getting contract rejection letters. Do you see the heavy-handedness I'm getting at here? This everything's DEI, right? It's just silly. So let's just take a massive axe and just chop every tree down without figuring out that there's nuance here. It's a highly complex system that I don't think anyone really understands. But U.S. aid, regardless of its corruption, and I'll get to this whole U.S. aid thing here in a second, regardless of its corruption, it isn't to say it's not going to. We have to be careful that this might affect innocent people, and then it might affect industries and supply chains that have nothing to do with this ideological movement, because that's what we're in right now. We're in a war of ideology, a left, right, false paradigm, and everyone is going to be harmed in the process. And I'm trying to ring that bell and let people know, listen, man. They want us to cheer on this war. They need us to back it. They need our approval. They need our support. Let's continue here. Here's another one, man. This guy. And now what is it, guys? Oh, it's the Democrats. It's the Democrats. Yeah, what a reckless approach. He just wants to shut the whole USA down as if it isn't entrenched in so many aspects of life all over the earth. It's crazy. And I think it's on purpose. He wants to purposely destroy these things. I'm not saying he wants to, but this behavior is good for the ultimate goal. It's good for the synthesis. Now, he says USAID is driving the radical left crazy, and there is nothing they can do about it because the way in which the money has been spent, so much of it is fraudulent. So much of it fraudulently is totally unexplainable. The corruption is at levels rarely seen before. Close it down, he says. Wow. Again, when you put things in this paradigm where anything progressive or even perceived as such, bad, destroy it. It's very easy to manipulate people. All you got to do is make it appear like, or give it some semblance of woke or progressive or leftist or communist. All you have to do is present a perception of that. And immediately you have their mind, you have their attention, and you can control their behavior. And it's interesting to see even politicians playing into this, of course, by design, in my view. Now, as long as you make it something that the leftists are doing, of course, it's bad, right? And I'm not saying it's good. People get confused all the time. Oh, you're critiquing Trump. You must be for Harris. What, you'd rather have Kamala in? It's just like, why do we think this way? Why do we think this way? Or why don't we think at all, I'd say. But here we go. Let's listen here. Everyone's losing it. Everyone's losing it.
Sign up for this. They vote.
Wait. What did he say? Let me hear this.
The American people did not sign up for this. They voted in Donald Trump. They did not vote in Elon Musk.
Wait a minute. Y'all didn't vote in Hyena Harris either, did you? Listen, I'm just saying.
Key role for Musk and Trump's administration. You see this 39% support, 53%, the clear majority opposed. They don't want this. The American people don't want this. No. Just 36% of independents support the idea of Elon Musk having a key role in the Trump administration. So the bottom line when it comes to all of this and Elon Musk being everywhere it seems in the federal government trying to trim down the federal deficit, the American folks simply put do not want Elon Musk having a key role in the Trump administration.
Even though he has a very key role at this point. How has his own popularity sort of been impacted by this? Because if you go on Twitter or X, which he now owns, you would think he is the king of kings.
He may be the king of X or Twitter, but he ain't the king of the United States of America. And if he were the king, he'd be a very unpopular king.
Isn't this cheesy? They're so cheesy. I don't know, man. It's amazing that this is what people watch to be informed about the world. It's really, really weird.
Elon Musk's net favorable rating, you know, back in 2016 when he was known as the SpaceX guy, right? His net favorable rating was plus 29 points. By last year, pre-fall, he had dropped all the way down to -3 as he began to take on more of a political role. Remember, as he took on X, as he bought X, formerly known as Twitter. Now look in 2025. Whoa, the bottom has fallen out. Minus 11 points. And it should be noted that Donald Trump's own net favorable rating is closer to about a net 0. So
you see where this is going, guys? Damn it. Man, I ain't even been on, like, I haven't even been on 26 minutes yet. I know. I guess it wouldn't be a show without it at least one time, huh? Damn it. Okay. Let me not waste any more time here. As you can see, what is it about, guys? It's about personalities, right? Everything's about an image, symbols, right? It's all about who's more popular. When you frame everything in these little boxes, people perceive things in a way that aligns with the ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal is to keep people from thinking critically, deeply. Keep people on this surface level where we're only concerned with who's popular, who's less popular, who's good, who's the bad guy, right? Please tell me who I should like and who I should not like. Think for me, basically. And this is where we're at with all of this crap. So apparently we had, what was it before, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome? Guess what we got now, guys? Guess what we got now? Doge derangement syndrome. Oh, man. Oh, that's hella loud. Sorry. Hold up. Doge derangement syndrome. This is actually kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Everyone's losing it. Everyone's so mad. Everyone hates Musk. It's funny. And they're all flipping out. And again, it's just the political circus. Okay. TDS or DDS now. Doge derangement syndrome. It's what a circus. And here I put this here. I tweeted this. By the way, we'll get into that later. I put here. This is agitprop. Okay, more agitation propaganda as a derailment from serious human rights concerns over Internet of Everything infrastructure that Doge is streamlining via government rehab, quote unquote, rehab. Right? So this excuse to rehabilitate the government, which needs rehabilitation, it needs change, it needs a thorough cleaning, absolutely. Indeed. Let's not get it twisted. We're all very aware of how corrupt the governmental system is, how bloated and inflated everything is, how useless the majority of it is. Right? We know that. But here, what I have here is, if progressives hate it, by proxy, conservatives must love it. Back to this black and white thinking. Keep people thinking in these paradigms. You can lead them wherever you want to go. Eliminate critical thinking at all costs. Table tennis politics. Back and forth. A match, a game. Right? So, and I think my main point here is that let's keep everyone from understanding what Musk is actually building through Doge. Some will say, oh, he's just, keeping them accountable and basically doing intensive accounting. Sure. But what he's doing is new. It's completely different. It's revolutionary. He's applying high-level, sophisticated artificial intelligence to the government system. And this is just what we're being told. No one really knows what's going on. A lot of people thinking they know everything that's happening with this. You don't. So there's blind trust there. I'm saying don't trust at all. And let's think. Let's use logic. Let's apply that logic to history. Let's be critical. Let's keep them under the microscope. And let's constantly critique every move. Because all these people sitting here just believing what they're told, I mean, that's how you get led to the slaughter. And that's literally where we're being led, in my view. Now, he's creating this. It's a new way to address civics. He's creating the infrastructure that will be applied domestically. And when I mean domestically, I mean it will be targeted towards the people. It will start to be implemented in our personal lives. You think it's just going to stay in the government? I think that's a silly position. I really do. And sure, it's efficient. Absolutely. Right. I get it. But when you follow that logic, that system's logic, of algorithmic capture, of AI governance, then things don't look as positive. Now, let's continue here. Now here's Shanahan, AI scientist and engineer. Of course, she got to back this and promote this. Let's listen to what she says. She's going to clear the air for us, guys. She's going to clear it all up for us. Everyone worried.
On the topic of Doge, I don't think people are hearing exactly what Doge is. It's an efficiency agency, but what really is it? I've heard from an incoming agency head that what Doge is, it's a data mining research arm that can answer any budgetary question by department. And I've
Let's continue.
seen it, executed now a few times where an individual will ask, tell me everything about where department dollars are going overseas. And they can deliver that and tell you every individual who is hired to execute specific programs. Now, before Doge, in order for you to answer some of these questions, you would have to either hire a consulting team or build a team internally to do that work. It was very slow. You oftentimes wouldn't get clean answers. So acting on efficiency goals with it, like interagency, was almost impossible. So having this like external, almost consulting team that has some of the best data miners and organizers we have in this country, because each department has its own team, I've been told, about 5 or 6 people dedicated. And they're really smart, very thoughtful, tech savvy. So they're actively mining.
She has this such a dainty sweetness about her. It's really fascinating. She's perfect for this role because she just comes across so gentle and sincere and nice. She's very disarming. And when you really find out the stuff she's working with, and we've covered this in the past already, but it's like, wow, they're really gonna pull this off. They're really gonna pull this off, man. They got everyone in their palm, everyone.
Information and turning it into solutions.
Yes, this is just an explanation of AI. I mean, she, Musk, everyone else are just trying to justify AI governance. And it's not just AI governance in American government. It's AI governance over all data, all human capital. Wait for it.
In just a matter, USAID, you said he did over the weekend. They're moving so rapidly. It's fascinating. And people don't
Acceleration. Effective acceleration. They're moving so rapidly. It's fascinating. It's like it's just a great thing. We're seeing life change in seconds and days. Yeah, see, we're supposed to be excited about this. Remember, Musk said, be happy and excited for the future that they're building for all of us plebs. Yeah, okay.
Understand how they're doing it. I feel like if they understood how they were accomplishing these things, they would have greater respect for it as as really something we need in this country.
Ooh. See, if people just understood what how it worked and what they were doing, people would have more respect for it. It's like, nah, man. Now, if people really knew what this stuff was capable of, if people really knew where this stuff was going to end up, no one would agree with any of this. But how are they selling it to us? First off, everyone's anti-government for the most part, to some degree, since post-COVID. So they're leveraging and exploiting that anger, that justified, and I'd say righteous anger that all of us have towards our government and towards these agencies and all of these systems. They're leveraging that. And they're saying, guess what, guys? We're going to fix all of this stuff for you. We're going to get you your money back. We're going to get you your freedom back. Right? We're going to get back to common sense. We're even going to get you to keep your tax money. We're going to stick it to the IRS. Who's going to disagree with that? Who's going to disagree with that? Perfect. It's such a good way to get everybody on board. And then you got, of course, Alex Jones shilling as always, pushing everything in their left-right paradigm. And now so what they're doing is they're praising Musk for what he's doing, saving the world to some extent. But what's fascinating here is how, and we're going to see much more of this, of how his technology, which no one understands, no one really has been informed on what the hell he's using and how he's doing any of this, right? No one really knows, at least on the ground. And everyone's just going along with it. And what they're saying here is, and what Musk or Jones is saying here, and what we'll continue to hear is how his technologies are finding. Don't play dirt. Don't play with me, man. Unless you're behind. Maybe you're behind. You put mute in there. Don't play with me, man. But anyhow, man, yeah. They're going to continue to promote how his technology is finding all of this fraudulent hidden money and scams. And what it's going to do is it's going to make people revere Musk's technology because it's just finding all of these horrible, clandestine financial arrangements. And gosh, what would we do without this technology, man? We should put this technology everywhere. Interesting.
Musk is now releasing the findings. Over 100 billion stolen. Tens of billions going into black holes in bank accounts that don't even have contracts.
Yeah, he's just finding money everywhere. He's finding money everywhere.
I've got the clips in the news and the documents on that. 6 billion went to Biden into his companies, and they don't know where it went.
Oh, man. And it's crazy because I've always had so much love for Alex Jones. I've always just loved the guy. But ever since Trump came into the picture, this guy has just become, I don't know what the heck he is. Is that a clone? Is that even Alex Jones, man? It definitely ain't Bill Hicks. But it's like, who believes this stuff, man? And I don't mean to be disrespectful to people because I know people are just deceived. But come on, man. How do we believe any of these clowns at this point, man? It's sad. And here's more of this crap. This is what people are eating up right now.
Bracing for massive cuts as much as 50% this year because of draconian reductions in U.S. foreign assistance ordered by the Trump administration. Oh, draconian.
Check this out. It says, breaking, Catholic aid group downsizes in half after Doge cut off their coveted human traffic funds. You see, guys? Do you see? How could you speak against what Musk is doing? How could you? How could you speak against all of this great work he's doing? He's getting the traffickers. He's going for all of the crooked agencies. He's fixing all the problems. He's saving young children. He's making America great again. How could you talk and speak against this? This is the thinking. This is the thinking. This is what they want, and this is what they're actually creating online. Everyone feels this way now. Let's get some reason and some rationality, right? Let's just get some nice and calm information on what's really going on. Let everybody just pipe down. Let's all just pipe down, relax, and let's listen to Speaker Mike Johnson clear the air for us. Clear it all up.
Premise of the question, Chad. You know me. I'm a fierce advocate and defender of Article 1. I mean, look, we are the legislative branch. There's a reason the Founding Fathers put the Congress, the legislative branch, as the first article in the Constitution, and we're going to vigorously defend that. But what's happening right now, I think there's a gross overreaction in the media to what is happening. The executive branch of government in our system has the right to evaluate how executive branch agencies are operating and to ensure that not only the intent of Congress in funding mechanisms, but also the stewardship of precious American taxpayer dollars is being handled well. That's what they're doing by putting a pause on some of these agencies and by evaluating them, by doing these internal audits.
Wow, isn't it fascinating how all of a sudden they're so concerned with our precious American tax money? Where you been? If I remember correctly, Trump was here not that long ago. But now, all of a sudden, everyone's so concerned with our precious tax money. Nah, man, I smell a rat when I smell one. Man. I smell a rat.
That is a long overdue, much welcome development. That's what the American people demand and deserve. And that's what's happening. So we don't see this as a threat to Article 1 at all. We see this as an active, engaged, committed executive branch authority doing what the executive branch should do. They have broad discretion in all the funding, as you all know, because you follow this. When Congress funds an agency, they give broad discretion to the executive branch on how it's administered. They're using that authority right now in a way it hasn't been used in a long time, so it looks radical. It's not. I call it stewardship. I think they're doing right by the American taxpayer, and we support that.
Doing right by the American taxpayer. If you think I'm going to believe that for 1 second, man, I got a whole bag of bridges to sell you.
That principle. When it comes to the point of codification and legislation and all the rest, we'll be evaluating all those things. But right now, I think they're acting within the scope of their authority. There's be legal challenges. The courts will have some things to say about this.
Yeah, you slipped that one in, didn't you? Oh, you know, there will be legal challenges. The courts will have something to say about this. Ever heard of backlogging? Can you imagine the bottleneck that's coming with all of this madness Trump is doing, this performative stuff he's doing right now? Can you imagine the bottleneck, the legislative bottleneck that's coming, that is going to develop and produce so much crap, bickering, back and forth, table tennis all over the internet? And what happens when very little gets done? But guess what does get done? The infrastructure is built. Yes. The data is collected. The networks are fortified. Pay attention.
But as so far as I'm concerned, Chad, this is not a usurpation of authority in any way. It's not a power grab. I think they're doing what we've all expected and hoped and asked that they would do. For years, members of the legislative branch in Congress, Senate and House, have asked for details. They've asked for, the expenses of USAID. I mean, look, this is what was uncovered. 3 just quick examples. I mean,
Okay, Mikey, we've had enough. It's rhetoric. It's like, calm down, children. Everything's fine. Daddy's in control. See, nothing's wrong here. There's nothing funny here. This is just how things work, see? Yeah. It's just reason and rationality. Remember, we were talking, I have a clip here too. We're talking about how they push everything so left and so extreme and so hyper-progressive that people, even liberals, even classical liberals, start to realize, like, you know what, this is insane. Can we get back to some rationality? Can we just reason again? Can we get back to common sense? All by design. And here's more.
I want to try to put in perspective what many of my Democratic friends have been talking about today. They're very, very, very upset at President Trump. And they're very, very, very upset at Elon Musk. President Trump ran for president on a number of issues. One of the issues he ran on, he said it almost every day. He said, if you elect me president, I'm going to go through the entire budget and review all the spending, line by line. If I heard him say that once, I heard him say it 1,000 times. And that's what he's been doing. He went out and appointed, through an executive order, Elon Musk, who some people like him, some don't, but he's not a dummy. He's a very successful business person.
That's all people can say about this dude, man. He's a very successful business person. He owns a lot of companies, right? It's just, that's all it takes in this life, man, in this world, right? That's all it takes.
Got a top secret security clearance. President Trump issued an executive order, and he turned to Mr. Musk, and he said, Mr. Musk, I want you to do for me what I said I was going to do in the election. I want you to go through all the spending, line by line. Now, let me ask you something, Mr. President. How are you going to review the spending without reviewing the spending? How How are you going to audit the spending by an agency without auditing the agency? That's what I mean when I say common sense is illegal in Washington, D.C. That's what Mr. Musk is doing. He's put together a crackerjack team, and they're going through everybody's spending line by line, item by item.
That's it. That's all it is. Line by line, going through the spending. It's as simple as that. Y'all losing your minds out here. Come on, that's it. That's all it is, guys. See? It's very simple. He's just doing what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to audit. Let the damn man audit. Reason, rational, common sense. You see? You see? No. Oh, no. No. Some of us aren't going to buy that. No. Now, why? Why is that? Why won't some of us buy that? Well, first off, let's see, where is this at? This isn't your typical audit, by the way. This is definitely not your typical audit. And what do I mean? This is a revolution, by the way. What we're experiencing right now is a literal revolution. Okay? Reason and rationality. A revolution via common sense. Let's just get back to common sense. And the frustrating part about this whole thing is it is rational. It is. So when people see that anyone would critique this or speak against it, they're like, what is wrong with you? We need this. Okay, well, let's think. What does this remind me of? Two examples. One, analog to digital electronic revolution. Do you guys remember when we had to switch our TVs to digital? We all had to do it. You remember that shift? That was a revolution. That was a technological revolution where entire networks of technology were operating in a completely new way. Same thing with telecommunication and smart technology. Massive shift. Did we ask for it? Did we vote on it? Were we informed about this ahead of time? Of course not. Okay. We are subject to technological development. We just have to deal with the outcomes. Another example is user-initiated networks of social media. Say, think Friendster. Okay. User-initiated networks to algorithmic communication management networking. There was a time where social media was user-initiated. It didn't have all these algorithms controlling what we see, when we see it, trying to guess our preferences based on how long we hold our gaze or what have you. There was a time where we used to communicate a lot different. There was a time when people were a lot more healthy mentally before the scrolling and the algorithms. Did we ask for that? No. How was it sold to us? Convenience, entertainment, fun. Very similarly, we're going from an analog style of man-centered or human-centered governance that has problems, that needs fixing, sure. But the problems that in the so-called fixing is necessitating this new revolution, shifting into algorithmic governance under the guise of big problems bad, Big Daddy Warp Speed and Doge good. You see how this works? We have many historical examples where we've had this shift, this analog digital shift. And it's always been sold to us through some type of entertainment or convenience or some consumer model. This time it's different. It's building and leveraging and exploiting a socio-political issue that's been just festering for years. Mind you, all of this was going to happen anyway, whether that be the economic shift, crony capitalism of neoliberal tech or of neoliberal economics has been dying. Fiat currency, inflation, the Fed, all of this stuff has been dying. It's going to collapse already. So similarly, the shift in technology is changing governance. It's changing the nation state. It's changing international geopolitical affairs. We're going into the post-industrial era. So all of this was going to happen anyways. But they have to create these theatrical events. They have to make it look like, someone's some type of savior. Or these guys are going to fix all of these horrible problems that are happening. But in fact, they were going to happen already. And they're using this whole Doge and all of this crap we're seeing now as an opportunity to justify and sensationalize this shift, this revolution. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's give an example of the user-initiated network, right? Quickly here. So think of Friendster, okay? Back then we had chronological feeds. So content displayed in reverse, right? Content was displayed in reverse chronological order, showing the most recent posts at the top. Updates were received as they were posted. So this is how we engage with content. Whatever was posted, you would see what was most recent. So you would have an opportunity to get discovered. Just based on that alone, people would see you just because you happened to post recently. It was a great model. Now, of course, it's rational why they changed it. Why? Scaling, scalability, especially once smartphones came out. It took social media and these types of virtual communities to a whole nother level, a level that was so big that they needed systems of efficiency to in a sense, control and manage the networking and to give an experience. Then comes algorithms. We're seeing a similar dynamic in the government. It's just all over the place. There's inflation, there's bloat, there's all of these people that are being paid to do nothing. There's all this corruption. So they need efficiency. It's very rational coming in with artificial intelligence. That's the hardest part about all of this stuff. It's like we've been tricked into this thing, and now their solutions, though most people will not be happy about them down the line, they come across as very useful and very rational solutions. Now, also user-defined social networks, user-defined, not algorithmic. Okay? You defined your social network by directly engaging with people. Content viewed and engaged with was dictated by the direct connections they made with other user profiles. See, now we're just given stuff by the algorithm. Before, you would engage and interact in an active way, not passive. It was active. I would say social media, especially prior to smartphone technology, was a lot more healthy and fun. Now it's like conditioning and social engineering and mental illness problems. It's insane now, but it's because of the scalability, or the scale, should I say. And of course, the algorithms shaping people's perceptions. Yeah, interactively searching, exactly. So I'm using this history, this social and technological history, to give us an understanding of what we're kind of going through once again. It's another type of social technological revolution, Doge. Now, people think this is just about the government. No, that's just the foot in the door. That's just how they're going to get this over, if we're going to use wrestling terms. That's how they get this whole technology over, is efficiency, fixing the government. That's screwed up and corrupt, right? But again, these are human scale problems with technological solutions, as always. Now, let's go back here. I will be signing an executive order next week ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws, which don't work. Back to plastic. Well, thanks. That's what we need as American people. We just need more microplastics in our systems. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, here we go. Which of these Trump policies do you support most? Think about it. Think about it, guys. I mean, this is just truth. Which one do you support most? The Myrna? The AI, precision medicine, jabby jabs, juicy juice, or what, digital ID? Because you know that's what's coming after this efficiency, Doge thing. Or just the infrastructure itself, or the whole Israel first thing. You pick. Pick which one. Which one you like? Paper or plastic? Shout out to JT. Paper or plastic? Yeah. So now it's kind of looking like President Musk, right? A lot of people are saying this. Who is the real president? I argue that the president is just it's a role. It's a stand-in position that operates and fulfills the will of larger systems and entities. All these people are just actors, man. They're paid big bucks to make moves, but they take orders. None of these guys are really making the decisions. Yeah, Elon Musk might have a lot to do with the development and, the structure of the technology, but you think he's really deciding these things? Someone's allowing this. Pepsi or Coke? Shout out to Worm. Which one? It's just a big Pepsi versus Coke. Bud Light. Or no, what is it? Budweiser versus Bud Light. Right? And again, we're back to this layered dialectics and shaping team player social dynamics. Divide, distract, and synthesize. There's always this someone versus someone else. We'll get into that in a minute here. Let's pull up some clips. Speaking of reason, let me show you some examples of that here. This is a campaign, by the way. This is a campaign, this idea of reason and common sense. I believe this was cooked up in some intelligence meeting years ago because it's working.
Well, listen, I guess someone's got to be the George Soros of the right. I mean, I'd call myself George Soros of the center, I think.
That wasn't just tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, there was some truth in that. Yeah, because this is a dialectic. Whatever Soros is doing on the left, they're doing on the right. He really meant that. And people laughed it off. But that's where we're at now. People can't even see truth when it's in their face.
We obviously need to have... Well, listen, I guess someone's got to be the George Soros of the right. I mean, I'd call myself George Soros of the center, I think. We obviously need to have just the basics. As President Trump rightly said, what we need is the restoration of common sense. We want safe cities. We want secure borders, sensible spending, freedom of speech, respect for the Constitution.
Who doesn't want these things? That's the thing. It's like, yes, we agree. We want all of those things. We do. I do. But you think I'm going to believe you're going to bring those things here without a big, hefty price? No. Not for a second.
Anyway, so if that's George Soros of the right, that's me, okay? I'm incredibly excited about the future. The public has given us a mandate that could not be more clear. It's the clearest mandate. Winning the popular vote clearly, the House, the Senate, the Electoral College by a mile.
Yeah, is the Constitution even real? Exactly. Maybe it was at one point, but it's just a damn piece of paper. We see how things operate. Yes. Now, it would be nice to have some freedom and all of this, freedom of speech and all that, but it's all lip service. Shout out to Hulk. Good to see you, bro.
A majority of governorships, a majority of House legislatures, all Republican. The people have spoken. The people want change.
There it is. There it is. What does that remind you of? Someone will say it. Same playbook, just from the other side. Table tennis politics. Change. Hope. Yes. Obama. This is how the left and right is played so easily. It's brilliant to see it happen. Like when you're watching it like a movie, it's so well produced. So well produced. Now, again, there might be good things that come, right? I saw this, and I don't know how true this is, but this is good for Americans. I mean, any kind of new jobs are great, right? So we have to remember that there are some wins, and it's not like good things are never going to happen. A lot of people do this straw man of, we're all black-pilled. No, we'll take the wins. We'll take them, but we still ain't going to trust you.
And also, there is another good news that I would like to deliver to you. A Japanese automaker, Isuzu.
So apparently the Prime Minister of Japan just informed President Trump that major Japanese car companies are opening factories in the United States. Thousands of jobs are coming. Detroit will be Motor City again. Wow. Hey, you know, I mean, if this is true, this is amazing. This is great for Detroit. Right? If it's true, we'll take the wins. We'll take them. Let's see. Here's more. This is Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. And listen, this stuff sounds good. But of course, I'm going to have another angle. But let's listen.
So these are the tax priorities of the Trump administration that the president has laid out for members in that meeting today. No tax on tips, which is obviously a very public campaign promise the president made. No tax on seniors' Social Security. No tax on overtime pay. Renewing President Trump's 2017 middle-class tax cuts. Again, these are the president's priorities. Adjusting the SALT cap, eliminate all the special tax breaks for billionaire sports team owners, close the carried interest tax deduction loophole, tax cuts for Made in America products. This will be the largest tax cut.
There we go. That makes more sense, Maurice. It might be true, but probably unmanned, autonomous factories. So I guess those new jobs will be people manning those autonomous machines. Interesting. Very interesting.
In history for middle-class working Americans, the president is committed. So these are the tax priorities.
So yeah, I mean, listen, we all know tax is theft, right? I mean, for me, this is very suspicious because why all of a sudden do you want to give us all these breaks? I feel like I'm being bought here. I feel like, you know, someone's trying to manipulate the populations here. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Right? That's what I hear. You know, when I'm watching it. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. I got a little treat. You want a treat? Treat. I got a treat for you. Yeah. I ain't buying it, man. I'll take a treat here and there, but no, I ain't buying it. And if anyone's on Twitter, Musk is just pounding this. He's like coming up with all these examples of how they wasted our taxpayer money. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I wonder why. He's like, they wasted $100 billion of taxpayer money. What about all the money going to Israel? What is it at? 100 billion plus at this point? I'm still waiting to hear about all that damn money. I'm still waiting to hear about that. And then someone would say, "Oh, well, what about Ukraine, right?" Well, guess who they're blaming that on? Of course. USAID. Let's get into USAID, shall we? Let's get into USAID. Shout out to the chat, man. We about to go in, man.
We live in a video game world, bro. Half of these niggas ain't even real people, bro. Watch this.
Welcome to Future Shock Podcast. It's time to cook.
The whole point is that it's only science fiction until it's reality.
Peep the menu cause we serving hot plates. Please do not forget to tip your server. Check out the merch shop for fire gear, links in the description. We appreciate your continued support. All praises to the Most High. Let's get it.
Yeah, okay. Now, here, regarding the USAID, I wrote here on Twitter, I said, the whole USAID scuttlebutt is a digitrans digital transformation. A digitrans ploy and red herring. Ultimately, I believe it distracts from the real networks of plutocratic corruption, right? Similar to the normie tier blob concept, which is just idiotic, right? It keeps people's thinking overwhelmed by a false paradigm. In my view, it's intelligence, culture jamming online truth communities. And we've been talking about culture jamming for years. I mean, we were talking about that way back in 2016. This idea of taking the concept of culture jamming that was this very I'd even think libertarian people first movement, right? It was a movement by the people to jam through art and being clever, jamming corporate culture, right, and exposing them with their own devices, right? Let me give you an example of this quickly here. Where is that at? Check this out. For those that don't know what culture jamming is, this is just a quick little description.
Borrowing or stealing an element of cultural expression and placing it in a new context. While there are many types of appropriation in visual rhetoric, culture jamming is a method that, according to Christine Harold, seeks to undermine the marketing rhetoric of multinational corporations, specifically through such practices as media hoaxing, corporate sabotage, billboard liberation, and trademark infringement, and as a form of media activism. Culture jamming is often seen in forms of visual parody and pranking. Parody is defined as the deliberate exaggeration for humorous effect. Ad parodies, also called subvertisements, attempt to reveal the true logic of something.
So these are different ways to culture jam. I culture jam all the time. A lot of creatives culture jam because we're always, for the most part, anti-establishment. This is something that we all do to different degrees, and many people don't even realize they are culture jamming when they do it. It's a creative technique, and it's fun, and it's effective. It is my belief that this same type of technique is used on the other side, and in a different way. Instead of, say, exposing one side, it infiltrates the side and pretends to be it. So what I see, and I've been seeing, and what is called Polly's term, the new narrative network, is a great description of this. Because what we see now are these, what I believe are just different agents that come into social media and are boosted by algorithms and peddle false paradigms that keep large populations of truth seekers in a blur, in a type of in a confused state or trance, going down these rabbit holes and all of this stuff, whilst none of these things are actually the case. The blob concept is a perfect example of this. I mean, to really consider that all of the problems of the world, all of the issues of corruption are just based on these three little organizations within the American government, I mean, I think is probably one of the most ridiculous things I've heard in quite some time. But when one, pulls up and digs all of this, all of these papers and white papers and all of this data and information that is just provided for the op, right? It appears as if this must be true. There's all of this information out there, but I mean, it's all part of a massive operation, if you ask me. So that's what I mean here by this idea of USA scuttlebutt as it's a red herring, right? And it keeps people from seeing the real networks of plutocratic corruption that are so dense and complicated. It's not just a few American intelligence agencies or a few agencies in American government. I mean, this stuff is mad deep. It's deeper than I think any single person could truly understand. Of course, we have to consider the supernatural and the occult and esoteric elements of these things as well. Right? It's not just cultural and political. I mean, this stuff is deep. So it's obvious when you see these types of I call them psyops basically, but they're happening from the inside. Right? They want you to follow the white rabbit, etc. And it keeps people's thinking overwhelmed by a false paradigm. And this is, in my view, a new type, well, not new because it's been going on, but it's a type of culture jamming. The agencies, intelligence, and what have you, are jamming the culture of real truth seekers and real truth communities with ops, right? It's infiltration. It's very clever. And I think the entire Alex Jones network is part of that. All of what is it, Brand? I mean, Candace Owens, all of these people are all part of this culture jamming, in my view, because when you look at what they're telling us, it's all partial truths, and a lot of it is misdirection and derailment, and it's all focused on things that don't really matter. So it's just my personal opinion, not that it means any more than that. It's my personal opinion, and I guess it's just sad. It's unfortunate that so many people are falling for this stuff, but I understand why. Because, It's easy to be influenced by influencers. And so now, all of a sudden, the government, well, again, it's this new type of, this new group, this, some people call it the new right, this new technocrat libertarian class. It's this new kings of the earth, if you will, if we want to use biblical concepts, that are coming in through conservatism mixed with this pseudo-libertarianism. They're driving in this new world order, this new world system of digitalism, right? This idea of transforming everything into bits, units, electronics, networks, devices, systems, AI, all of this stuff, transforming the whole earth, right? Under the guise of fixing the old world problems, the aristocracy, the globalists, taking out the deep state. This is the op. So now, all of a sudden, they're being honest about how corrupt the government has always been. And we've always known this. Even when I was a kid, I was aware of how corrupt the government was, just based on some things I was into when I was young. It was, especially coming from the Bay Area, we were always anti-government. We were always very aware of how corrupt these systems and these industries are. Do you think we're really going to trust any of this? Now, personally, I ended up trusting it over time due to just my own ignorance. I remember the first term I was an Obama supporter. And I regret that, and I've changed my ways and learned from my mistakes. But we're all ignorant in our youth and make mistakes, but never again. Fool me once, kind of thing, right? Fool me once, right? Okay, right. And from that point forward, I never looked back. Now, all of a sudden, they create these heroes, right? These saviors that are anti-establishment, anti-deep state, and they're going to come in and expose the government. So to the general population, this is a great thing. I mean, this is perfect. How could you speak against this? And it's interesting that they're exposing things a lot of us already knew. A lot of us already knew the corruption. A lot of us already knew the pockets are being filled, fat cats in globalists. We knew this already. So it's interesting how now they're saying, we're going to help you guys. We're going to expose these guys. And this is what you're seeing. This is the big story being targeted at the right.
I have witnessed firsthand the obstruction within USAID as we try to exercise our congressional oversight of some of these programs. We know that there are dollars that are wasted, that have gone into the pockets of fat cats around the globe without the humanitarian aid being delivered. And yes, there are programs in USAID that are worthy of keeping. However, we have seen such complacency with oversight and direction from USAID. Sometimes it takes a sledgehammer, and that's exactly what Elon Musk is doing.
Yes, and that's by design. Sledgehammer. They want to get this across. They want us to support this type of heavy-handed, dismantling of the system. Because this, guys, this is Build Back Better. And this is, it's so obvious, and it just really gets me frustrated when conservatives and Republicans are not realizing this, man. And I get it. It's because of the culture jamming by all of these ops, all of these influencers that are on the right, keeping everyone asleep. I understand, right? But some of us don't play into the left or the right. We sit completely detached from all of it and analyze, right? And when you do that, you discover that, damn, this thing is much bigger than people realize. And in fact, it's exactly what the quote unquote globalists and World Economic Forum want. It's just from the other angle. That's all. Now, check this one out. Again, it's the Democrats, right? USAID. Now USAID is the big bad guy. Wait till you see this line of different stories that I'm going to show you here. And you could see the propaganda from a mile away, man. It's so interesting. Donald Trump says, and Elon Musk is posting all of these things. Back and forth, they're signaling each other and creating this massive algorithmic capture, right? This massive algorithmic capture that's making people's minds up for them and literally structuring their reality. He says, looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies. Much of it is going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. The left-wing rag known as Politico seems to have received $8 million. Oh no. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of them all. Perhaps the biggest in history. Can you believe how sensational this is? This is the president talking like this, man. You want to talk about something that's a nothing burger that doesn't even matter? You mean we're getting up in arms over $8 million that was given to some left-wing publication? Is this, you see what I mean? Get it? Get people to focus on it being woke, or it's the leftist, or it's progressive. That's it. People, their minds shut off. Neutralizing terms, neutralizing concepts. It neutralizes critical thinking immediately. It's really, really good social engineering. And that's what this stuff is. This is what all the conservatives are up in arms about. And like, see, USAID has been funding the left. Oh. And if people realized what this stuff is, they'd be able to focus on things that matter, like infrastructure, like actually getting down to the details of what Elon Musk is actually doing technologically. And once people understand the methods he's using, then they'll start to realize, well, hey, I wouldn't want this used on me. Think about it. Breaking, CNN just released a stunning montage showing all the times Mark Rubio insisted that USAID was vital to national security interests. I just want to play the first part here. It's just the first few seconds.
Vowing to gut the agency, though, since taking office. The first thing they really took aim at, he has called its leaders radical left lunatics.
They went totally crazy what they were doing, and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it. It was a shame. So they're tremendous fraud. I love the concept of it. Yeah, sure. I love the concept, but they turn out to be radical left lunatics.
Left-wing lunatics. That's it. That's all you have to say. Mind, brain, critical thinking shuts down. Oh, left-wing lunatics. That's it. USAID, left-wing lunatics. That's it. That's all it takes. Now, this whole USAID thing is so ridiculous. Let me tell y'all something real quick here. My sociology professor in college, freshman year, brilliant man from Kenya, knew more about America than most Americans I know. He laid out the whole USAID situation for me. My freshman year in college, many, many years ago, by the way, laid it all out. So when I'm hearing all this about USAID, it makes me chuckle inside, because it's been known for so long what the USAID actually is, its corruption, etc. And then I hear this kind of, and by the way, he was more of a leftist, right? So I understand that view. But then I hear this like right-wing conservative view that's trying to flip it. It's just such a dirty piece of propaganda. It makes me sick a little bit, because I learned about the USAID so long ago. I was practically a kid, and I understood that this was just one small corrupt aspect of the government amongst many, many others. And it's interesting how this whole thing, what we're experiencing right now in 2025, I think when I learned about this, I think it was like, I don't know, 2001, 2001, you know, and to hear all of this USAID talk now, it's like, it's just low. It's just low. It's so low. It's like, wow, man. But again, the generations, generally speaking, most people aren't aware of any of this stuff. So it's easy to sell this garbage to the general population because they have no idea. And now in 2025, they're pinning everything on USAID. Man, people have been exposing this for so long, and for them to use this as some big propaganda story, I think is like, wow, y'all could have come with something better than this. But again, that's where we're at. We're learned helplessness, just ignorance. I mean, we're so far gone that they don't have to even try anymore. They don't even have to try. Now, look at this. Now this is what I was going to show you. They're pinning the whole Ukraine thing on USAID now. Yeah, U.S. AIDS. It's an epidemic. It's like, wow. Now they're pinning the Ukraine. Guess what, guys? USAID funded Ukraine. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. What did I write here? Okay, so overwhelmed by a false paradigm. This is the false paradigm here that we're showing. So there's some other things they're blaming on. But first, I want to show you what I mean by culture jamming. This is a great example of culture jamming. So this is Newsmax. It's like, True Value Fox News. And this Mossad Benz, I believe is his name. Just listen.
The past president for the last 20 years known about this corruption with USAID and just chose not to do anything about it?
Well, most of them are on the take. Joe Biden was the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, which directly oversees USAID. USAID was funding Burisma. USAID gave money to Burisma and had a formal partnership agreement with Burisma. Barack Obama's mother worked for USAID. The Bush family runs right through it. Bush's, Vice President Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney worked for USAID. They're all in on it. And this is the reason that the Trump revolution was so revolutionary, is because it defeated both sides of the USAID snake. And now we're going to see just exactly how the snake bites back when it's cornered.
Wow. I mean, man, that's culture jamming at its finest. See, because Trump fixed it all, guys. Trump they're all in on it except Trump, right? They're all in the USAID, left and the right, but see, Trump came in there and fixed it. We're supposed to believe this, right? This is the guy that pushes the whole blob thing. It's just, I mean, for people who know anything, I mean, this is like, wowzers. Like, is this where we're at, guys? We're believing this stuff now? We're really falling for this stuff now? Check this out. Where's this at? Oh, man. Hold on. Where is that at? We got a bunch of stuff to show you, man. This is just, it's wild. Okay, let me find this quickly here. Let's watch a little bit more of this culture jamming clip here. I have to locate something very, very quickly.
Similarly, pranking is defined as a form of appropriation intended to break routine that is performative and mediated. Unlike parodies, the audience do not expect the prank. Despite these differences, both parody and pranking are utilized by culture jamming and have a similar intention. They want to raise awareness for social controversies or to reveal misconceptions of various corporations. Here, we see a familiar logo, the UPS symbol. It is transformed to say oops instead of UPS, and the slogan has been altered to say consider it gone instead of the traditional what can Brown do for you? This suggests that UPS has a history of being...
Okay, I got it. I have a few things here that I forgot to load. Not a problem. Takes a second here. All right. One second. I thank you guys for your patience. Let's put that back. How is everyone doing? I hope you all are well. Trying to get in the chat when I can. 1 second here. Let's bring this forward. Okay. Lock that in. Boom. All right. Okay, now let's continue. All right, let's see where we at now. So USAID. Oh, did you guys see this? Apparently, guess who's at the White House right now? The Tuck. The Tuck. Yeah, interesting. Now, some people are saying, well, he seems to have more of a critical view of Israel, which I find rather interesting. So will we see a little conflict? Will we see a little truth? Because a lot of people are exposing, and we're going to get into Israel in a second here. I got a bunch of stuff to go into about that. So don't you fret. We're going to get right into that. But back to this, we have to return to this idea. This last point here, I think, is just crazy.
Was so revolutionary. They're all in on it. And this is the reason that the Trump revolution was so revolutionary, is because it defeated both sides of the USAID snake. And now we're going to see just exactly how the snake bites back.
Okay. So he bit the snake. Or he basically exposed, this is Trump. So Trump exposed the USAID situation. Now, I found this here. Where's this at? Let me pull this up. I found this here. This, first off, it's like, man, is this where we're at? Is this where we're at, guys? Check this out. I saw this meme, and then I saw his response, and I almost lost my lunch. I really did. So listen to this. Every sketchy thing that's happened anywhere in the world over the past 20 years. Let me read that again. Every sketchy thing that's happened anywhere in the world over the past 20 years, USAID. Yo. And the response: drugs, terrorism, pandemics, overthrowing governments, prosecutorial lawfare, rigging the media, catalyzing censorship laws. How many crimes against humanity can one government agency commit? Oh, it makes me want to cry. I want to cry. Is this where we're at? How many crimes against humanity can one government agency commit? Damn it. I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done with all of y'all. I'm done. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, bro. It's over. It's over, guys. This is where we're at. This is what the general population is eating today. Every sketchy thing that happened anywhere in the world over the past 20 years, USAID. All right, man. All right. Whatever. It's pointless at this point. And then I saw this. Gizmodo, Elon Musk's enemy, USAID was investigating Starlink's contracts with Ukraine. The agency was in the midst of a probe into the billionaire's equipment at the time of Musk's assault. Which one is it, man? Damn. It's just such a pickle. All by design. You see, guys, it's never ending. The rabbit hole never ends with this stuff. And that's the purpose of it. So what is Doge, in my view? Doge is basically, amongst other things, but if we're going to be general, it's the precedent for digital governance and Internet of Everything digital civics. It's building out fourth industrial revolution infrastructure. We could consider it neo-restruction, right? If we think about Manifest Destiny and the Industrial Revolution, right? The Gilded Age, as we're in a new Gilded Age. And of course, we must also consider Reconstruction, but it's this neo-Reconstruction. Fighting corruption, reinstating freedom and justice, guys. Getting back to common sense. You see the game? You see how we're all getting played? You get it? In my view. I know everyone won't agree, and that's fine. We're not always going to agree. Let me see your work. I'll show you mine. Now, here we go. We have Doge. You know, this is the team player, right? Pick your teammate. Pick your team. All of these dialectics. We got Doge versus NGOs. Doge versus agencies and globalists. Trump versus WEF. Trump versus the Fed. Trump versus deep state. Trump administration versus Biden administration. RFK Jr. versus everybody. RFK Jr. versus Gates. Big tech, indie tech, or little tech versus the global government. U.S. versus China and BRICS, etc. AI, drones, chips, arm race. Elon versus Altman. Rogue billionaire class versus globalists. Accelerationists versus decels. I mean, it goes on and on. Guys, I could write pages of all of these little dialectics. I'm telling you, it's... When you're sitting outside of it, it's almost entertaining. But then you realize millions of people are falling for this. And a lot of people see something's wrong. I can't sit here and believe people don't see that something doesn't add up. But everything is so complex and convoluted on purpose that it keeps them from really being able to sit down and think it through. Not to mention they're distracted. They're distracted from their screens or whatever else is going on in their life. So, you know, always be a little sensitive to that. But again, we have a little fun over here, and we're going to poke it. We're going to poke a little fun. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, okay. All right, guys, let's continue here. What we got next on this Doge and all of that? Okay. Oh, so here's another one. Now people are saying U.S. aid is a front for the globalist agenda. All right. This is a new one. All right. Now, of course, now let's get into the Soros thing. Now a new dialectic is, yeah, there we go. Now we're talking West Side. Now we're talking a quantum AI script. Can't prove it, but I really think about these things sometimes. Like, we know they got some sophisticated AI. We understand quantum is still misunderstood. But could you imagine if they were creating mass scripts with all the data, knowing what people are going to think, how to push their buttons? They could easily do it. They could easily do it. Good one. Now, the new one is, oh, guess what, guys? Musk versus Soros. You know how much the right hates Soros. I hate Soros. Everybody do. That's a good one. That's a good way to get everybody. It's a really good one. Check this out.
USAID. They're screaming about Elon Musk over there, but hey, George Soros and his boy are okay. You know, they scream that we're all a threat to democracy when they've been systematically dismantling democracy before our eyes. They've been...
Anytime I hear them say democracy, I just chuckle. Yeah, stop it, please.
Caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and there's no going back. So I would tell my colleagues across the other side of the aisle, take your salty tears and sit right back down. USAID has long strayed from its mission to effectively and efficiently administer aid to advance American interests.
So basically, this whole thing is, oh, guess what, guys? Dun, 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 dun. USAID is a Soros operation. So it's just... Guess what else they're blaming on USAID? My goodness, guys. Someone's going to already knows where this is going. Guess what else they're blaming on USAID, guys? If Ukraine is to blame, if they're blaming Ukraine on USAID, they're blaming USAID is now Soros. Guess what else they're blaming on USAID? Oh, it's just so pathetic. Yes, of course. The coof, the Wuhan wiggle. Yes, you guys aren't gonna believe this. I hope you're sitting down. As it turns out, USAID was in fact funding both the wait. We need something for this. Okay, we need something for this. As it turns out, USAID was in fact funding both the Wuhan lab gain of function research. Let me say it again. Funding both the Wuhan lab gain of function research and smart matter collection systems. Does this mean that the USAID was simultaneously funding both the election rigging technology that would steal the 2020 election while manufacturing and releasing a weaponized virus that would distract the world from the theft of said election? Woo! Woo! There it is. Mystery solved. Mystery solved. Yeah. We could pack it on up. We solved COVID. Convid. The juice, the jabby was all a USAID thing, man. We just got to get rid of USAID. All we got to do, and Trump's going to do it. Musk got the tools. Trump got the battering ram. And we're going to fix everything. Freedom is back, guys. Freedom is back. Are you sick of all of this winning? I'm not. Goodness. Yeah, shout out to MoFax, man. I love this tweet here. Everyone's losing it. A lot of government people losing their positions, getting up in arms. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's scared. They're coming through with the street sweeper. Fax says, where were the government workers when the unvaccinated were being mandated out of jobs? Good question. Good question. Yeah, that's it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. We're so back. You see it everywhere on the internet right now. We're so back. What, man? Come on, man. The juice was so loose, man. And now it's contained in a plastic container. Very good question, right? Yeah. Where were the government workers when the unvaccinated were being mandated out of jobs? Shout out to my brother Mo Fax with the bombs. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Let's continue. All right. Oh, by the way, speaking of Convid and the Wuhan wiggle, apparently, well, let me just play it. I'm not even going to say anything. Let me just play it. This is interesting.
Scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign.
Did you hear that? Did anyone hear that?
Wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok.
Oh, of course, as if we didn't know that was the whole plan from the beginning. Oh. Yeah, Big Daddy Warp Speed. Ain't changed. Ain't changed at all. At all. So there we go. The right, all they got to do is blame it on the Democrats. It's USAID Democrats. And look at this one, even Ron Paul, man. They're all in it. A look behind the curtain has revealed a horrific truth. Nearly the entire mainstream media worldwide has been funded by the U.S. government under the USAID. From the BBC to the New York Times and Politico. At this point, it might be easier to find out who USAID has not funded in the media sphere. Elon Musk, 100. Crazy, man. It's like, wow, they're just throwing USAID under the bus. Now, there's a thing. What's interesting about it is it cleans everything up, right? It's the perfect red herring. It's like, oh, wow, they were behind the Ukraine. They were behind the jabs. Mission accomplished. We're done. Elon Musk, and they've saved the day. Wow. I mean, that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is. And then you get this. This is here, what I mentioned. It keeps people's thinking overwhelmed by a false paradigm. Here's a good example of that. Now, what she's saying here is a rational and reasonable reaction in the way that anyone should be. Question both sides, pay attention, etc. But the problem is they're buying into the paradigm, this whole U.S. aid government paradigm, right? Check this out.
I really hope all of our government officials are becoming very acutely aware of how much we, the people, are done. USAID was literally icing on the cake.
You see, we've bought the lie, right? Now, what I mean is, this is the perfect way to get people to agree with removing human-centered government and replacing it with automated systems, because humans are corrupt, right? Humans have egos. Humans are manipulative, exploitative, etc. Look at what they've been doing. Look at all of these things. Look at what AI has discovered. Look what Musk's new efficiency machine has discovered about our government. May this never happen again. May we never trust man again. See, this is the problem here. This, in my view, is how they're going to get this over, because they're going to present so many facts, so much fraud, so much bureaucracy, that everyone is going to be like, yeah, we need to replace all of this with a new trustworthy, or should we say, zero trust architecture. We'll get there in a minute.
You're telling me that I have watched family members lose their savings, friends lose their retirement, thanks to your money laundering, because that's what it is, right? Like, we know there's no such thing as an actual pillow fluffing program. And the fact that you're sending money to a DEI musical in another country, like, what level of an awful human being do you have to be more interested in filling your own pockets than human life? I need people to see it in the black and white way that I see it. Because to me, I don't know how you're not pissed off. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. My children's future is not for sale.
The thing is, people have no idea that what Musk and what this whole rightist movement is developing is going to change all of our children's lives in a way we can't even predict yet. But you build up the sentiment, you build up the anger, and the populations will beg for their slavery. They'll beg for it. They'll demand it. And we're just about there. But not yet. Wait till you see what they uncover. They're going to uncover something huge, I believe. And it's going to, the credit is going to be given to Musk. The credit is going to be given to his machinery, to his new efficiency systems. And it's going to be great, such that no one even attempts to challenge or critique it. And we're already getting there, especially with this whole tax thing. No one's going to argue with that. So it's tough. It's really tough, because this one here Clever. Very clever. Let me give an example of international governance digital transformation techniques that are very similar to what Elon Musk is doing. So Elon Musk could claim to be against the globalists. He can claim to be against the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, etc. Though the World Economic Forum, United Nations, globalist movements are using the same type of techniques through digital transformation. Let me give you an example of that. Strategy for the digital transformation of UN peacekeeping. Okay, so Elon Musk is doing efficiency, fixing corruption. UN has a similar system for peacekeeping. Overall, it's all about data collection, data management, tracking and tracing, and data farming. Right? So, it's just an example of how the digital transformation is happening across the board. Doesn't matter. Left, right, national, international. It's happening everywhere. So when you know this, it's like, well, you know, Musk could say all of these things, and Musk supporters can say all of these things about they're fighting the globalists. Oh, really? Now let's just get to it. Let's just get straight to it. There's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Let's just get straight to it. Shout out to, gosh, I can't remember who sent me this image here. But this is a perfect example of where all of this is going. And yeah, and it's not new. We'll get there in a second too. This is not new. Interesting. Update. U.S. Homeland Security News. Elon Musk proposes putting the U.S. Treasury on cryptocurrency-type blockchain for full spending transparency. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time, online, at any time. Interesting. Fascinating. Look at that sales point. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time, online, at any time. You know what that means? You'll know where your tax dollars are going. First off, why are we getting taxed anyways, right? But again, we know how this works. It's not about us. It's not about giving us our taxes or giving us our money back. That's the ruse. That's the ruse. This is about infrastructure. Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies and digital civics. Changing how we interact as citizens, as civilians, as persons, as humans. It's at such a high level that people, if they knew, if they only do, they only knew. As if we didn't already know. Let's look at this quickly. Inside the Pentagon's roadmap to zero trust. Yes. Now, you will, and we will see more of this. It's just the USAID right now. It's probably going to be the IRS, the FDA, a lot of these other agencies. They're going to clean this thing out. Is it going to be sincere and authentic? We don't know. And how do we know we could believe anything we're seeing anyways? We're not involved with what's going on. We just listen to what we're told. Some people are saying they need to go after the Pentagon. That would be interesting. I just don't really believe that they would honestly do any authentic authentic audit. I don't think they would do that, man. But anyways, this is the zero trust architecture that we've been talking about for a long time. And the Pentagon has been developing this for years. This is back in 2022. So this is before what we're seeing right now. I'm telling you, Doge was already in the works. They just needed a sales point. Now they have a sales point. They have Musk. They have the culture of cultural futurism that Musk has just developed even more. Let's go down here. The zero trust strategy is nested under the department's digital modernization strategy. This is exactly what Project 2025 says. We covered it last show. Digital modernization strategy. This is precisely what Musk has been talking about, as well as Trump. The reason I'm showing you this, because this was under the Biden administration. So everyone talking about, Brandon and all of this, listen, man, they're the same. They may come across different and have different policies here and there, sure. Yeah, he's taking tampons out of bathrooms. Yeah, absolutely. He's signing papers so, trans women can't, play sports with other women. Yeah. But let's look beneath the surface. The department's digital modernization strategy and aligns with President Joe Biden's executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity from 2021. The federal zero trust architecture strategy, the Office of Management and Budget, released in January. The National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2022 and the other executive level memorandums that guide the department toward implementing zero trust architecture across the board. Okay? Across the board. There's more. I got another one here. I'm just showing you guys that this isn't anything Trump's doing. This isn't anything Musk is doing. Musk is just, he's P.T. Barnum. He has the cultural influence. He has the government contracts. And he has the technologies. He has the businesses. He has the ability to actually develop some of this infrastructure. These ideas have been in the works, for many, many years. We can go all the way back to Bush and even Clinton, all the way back to the digital highway, the beginning of the internet. This has always been the goal. This is singularity is the point. That's why people poo-poo transhumanism. It's like, no, this is all leading to transhumanism. The singularity is the ultimate goal. All this political stuff is just different steps towards that. Just different steps through politics, through culture and society, or should I say social conflict, because social conflict, politics, it's all emotional. People aren't really thinking. They're just playing on teams and they're falling for propaganda and they're thinking emotionally. They're identifying with certain characters and personalities and they're not actually seeing what's happening before them. Check this one out. The DoD aims for full zero trust deployment by 2027. We'll read a little bit of it, but you see this, okay? This is straight from the horse's mouth. So that must mean that it doesn't matter who was even going to be in office. Are you guys picking that up? It says the DoD aims for full zero trust deployment by 2027. Doesn't matter who the hell is in office. Zero trust architecture is going to become a norm. This was in 2022, way before Doge. Doge is playing as a type of efficiency system to fix governmental corruption and bureaucracy. But in fact, it's key. It's a key element when we think of things like zero trust architecture, which is blockchain. Digital civics. Implementing zero trust for millions. The Pentagon plans to roll out zero trust at scale for the enterprise of over 4 million people by 2027. This ambitious plan is based upon the continued rising threat of attacks from individuals. You guys understand what that means? You know this can be domestically applied. Cyber gangs and state actors. Meanwhile, Commander Gen Jackie Van Alvost of the U.S. Transportation Command announced that her organization is already at work. U.S. Transportation? U.S. Transportation? Haven't we been getting several plane crashes recently? In a very odd fashion, we've seen in tandem some events regarding transportation. We'll return to that in a second here. Let's continue. Last month, we completed our implementation of our core zero trust capabilities on our classified network reaching the baseline maturity level. Zero trust for the entire U.S. government. Are you paying attention here? 2022. 2022. Doge been in the works, man. The whole thing. See, like everything they present to us, like it's just happening, like it's some response to something that happened in the present. All of this stuff we're seeing. Strategic, incremental steps toward a much bigger picture, a much bigger thing coming. But they must make it all appear as if it's, in the moment, as if it's organic reactions to conflict and resolution. Day to day, every day we get some crazy story. Every week we get some new thing. All of this, in my personal view, has been set up ahead of time. And these systems can coordinate rather easy with this new type of networking we have. It's not hard, especially if they have AI to help them out with the majority of it. The DoD announcement is far from unique. In January 2022, the Executive Office of the President released an announcement about government-wide zero trust goals. Clearly, the U.S. government places high confidence in the approach and intends to embrace it as soon as possible. In the current threat environment, the federal government can no longer depend on conventional parameter-based defenses to protect critical systems and data. The memo states incremental improvements will not give us the security we need. Instead, the federal government needs to make bold changes and significant investments to defend the vital institutions that underpin the American way of life. Interesting. The American way of life is changing, unfortunately. The White House states that transitioning to a zero trust approach will provide a defensible architecture for new environments. In addition, the government says it will require agencies to meet specific zero trust objectives within the next few years. The current threat environment leaves us no choice. This is the logic. This is what I'm talking about. Reason and rationale. It's very reasonable to come in with efficient systems and machines because of the fallout, because of the clearly exposed corruption that have been there for years. They just decided to expose it now because it's useful. It fits the agenda. It, in a sense, is productive for their goals. Otherwise, they would have never exposed any of these things to any of us. You think they actually care about truth? Do you think they actually care about what the people think? Come on, man. Look at history. Any damn decade. Tell me when. I'm waiting. Somebody tell me when. The American government's been about the people. And not about industry. And not about technological development at the expense of human existence. This is an existential threat. Existential. Okay, now, of course, as believers, we understand who's in control. We understand all of those things. But as secular people in the world that are falling for all of this, these are important things that they need to know. Are we going to change the world? Do we seek to change God's plan or what have you? Of course not. But we can change our lives. We can change our individual situations. And if more people change their lives, if more people were aware of such things, aggregate would prove some sense or semblance of change, of influence. It starts with the one and it spreads out. It's very simple. Very, very simple. You can change your life. I don't care about anyone else. Get right with God, get your house in order, repent, believe the gospel, and change your life, how you operate in this world. And you will set an example for everyone around you, as I try my best to do every single day. Let's continue. In today's reality, remote work and connected devices are commonplace. A company's tech stack regularly expands with new tools and applications. Even if they tried, enterprises can no longer define a parameter to protect. Now security must be verified for every app, user, software, and device. With zero trust, all requests are assumed to be unauthorized until proven otherwise. Human authentication by way of Musk. Musk is bringing in the consumer base, the commercial level of this. All requests are assumed, and he's doing it right now. He's doing it through Twitter, and it's interesting because I don't on my account I don't have it connected to anything, so it doesn't let me do certain things. It's constantly hitting me with, oh, you need to put a phone number, you need to give us this, you need to get. It's like I can't even post, I can't tweet. I have to keep trying over and over and over again to operate on that application because I won't give it certain pieces of information, and that's exactly where all of this is leading. It's forcing you to prove you're authentic, forcing you to give some types of sensitive information. And I discovered that when we don't give that sensitive information, we're not able to operate in the system. So this whole idea of freedom of speech and liberty is nonsense. It's all a lie. It's just trying to convince us that if we give up our freedom, if we give up our personhood, then we'll be able to have free speech. Then we'll be able to have liberty and abundance. But it comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. And if more people were aware of what we're going to have to pay, this wouldn't be as successful as it is. Organizations that turn to zero trust realize 20.5% lower costs for a data breach. Okay, sorry. Now security must be verified. Okay, I read that. Instead of a single technology, zero trust uses multiple strategies such as multi-factor authentication, microsegmentation, and AI-driven contextual analytics. And I think Elon Musk is testing all of this type of zero trust technology on Twitter. Organizations that turn to zero trust realize 20.5% lower costs for a data breach than those not using zero trust. In fact, companies with zero trust deployed saved nearly $1 million in average breach costs compared to those without it. DoD CIO Sherman said the current threat environment leaves us no choice. The answer that many are turning to is zero trust. So again, rationally, they have no choice. Why is this true? Even if we don't agree with it, even if it infringes on, say, certain personal rights, personhood, even if it infringes on, say, even human rights, because these algorithms, they shape the way we think, the way we perceive reality. It disrupts our ontology, our ability to understand what's real, what exists. It makes up our minds for us. It informs us with information. It changes our epistemology. It even changes our ethics by its, say, smart contracts or its new, terms of service, which is just a type of virtual ethics system, right? That we're all kind of bent into just to function in the virtual community. Even if all these things are the case, it's still rational because there's millions and now billions of people operating, just like I described earlier, how social media platforms had to go from user-directed systems of engagement to algorithmic because of the scale. Same thing here. The scale is so large. The ability to be efficient and handle such massive systems, say with Doge, requires zero trust architecture because how can you trust when there's so many new opportunities for corruption, so many new opportunities for fraud based on pure scale alone? Makes a lot of sense. It's very rational. It's very reasonable. This is the most difficult thing with this stuff. But what it's lacking is philosophy. Hence technology or philosophy of technology, something that I spend a lot of time in. It lacks a real philosophical understanding of how these systems should and could relate to human beings, how and why, and let's say essentially the should and the should not aspects of human-computer interfacing. It lacks all of this. It completely, let's say, it circumvents these ideas based on crisis or ideas of urgency. And if you can get the populations to feel a constant sense of crisis and urgency and anger and emotion, then it's only going to accelerate it by their approval and also their participation. Many on the right, MAGA itself, are participating in accelerating all of this because woke bad. Because Democrats suck or whatever. It's so sick, twisted. But this is what it is, man. And this was 2022. Foreshadowing 2027. Trump wasn't even in the picture yet. Neither was Musk. They're just playing their role. And I'm not saying the Pentagon runs everything either. I don't think anyone knows who's really running the show unless they know the Most High. Then you'll know. But that's a different conversation. Now, let's get back to this idea. What did we say earlier? Recently, we've had some plane crashes. Strange. So odd. They made no sense. So many curious goings on. Now, right there in the DoD paper, it mentions transportation and how they're utilizing these systems. Well, guess what I just saw? That I think aligns with this perfectly.
I think what is going to happen is we're all going to sit down and do a great computerized system for our control towers, brand new, not pieced together, obsolete like it is land-based, trying to hook up a land-based system to a satellite system.
Rather convenient. Interesting. Trump, we're all going to sit down and do a great computerized system for our control towers. Oh.
And the first thing that some experts told me when this happened is you can't hook up land to satellites and you can't hook up satellites to land. It doesn't work.
So, of course, in order to, say, accelerate the process of that digital transformation, I think some form of crisis would say, get the engine running, if you will.
We spent billions and billions of dollars trying to renovate an old broken system instead of just saying, cut it loose, and let's spend less money and build a great system done by 2 or 3 companies, very good companies, specialists, that's all it is. They used 39 companies. That means that 39 different hookups have to happen. And I don't know how many people of you are good in terms of all of the kind of things necessary for that. And it's very complex stuff. But when you have 39 different companies working on hooking up, different cities had different people, you need one company with one set of equipment. And there are some countries that have unbelievable air controller systems. And bells would have gone off when that helicopter literally even hit the same height because it traveled a long distance before it hit. It was just wouldn't stop. It was, follow the line. But bells and whistles would have gone off.
There we go. Starlink and Palantir will do. Yes, AST. Starlink and Palantir. Yes. Networking.
Have them where it actually could virtually turn the thing around. It would have just never happened if we had the right equipment. And one of the things that's going to be, I'm going to be speaking to John.
Would have never happened if we had the right equipment. That young man would have never shot all those kids if we didn't have those damn guns. Rather familiar, isn't it? Phew. What a world. What a world. I just live here. I'm just in it, not of it. Not of it. And a lot of people say, oh, you're being black-pilled. Oh, no. Listen, leadership should be held under a microscope and critiqued at every opportunity. What good is done is expected. It is their job to do good for the people. We have been driven to such depths of helplessness and low standards and expectations that we put leadership on a pedestal for doing the bare minimum. I call it pacifier policy. Pacifier policy. Though some of it sounds good, I will say, listen, man, it's pacifying. We're going to give you some money. We're going to give you some taxes. We're going to get those tampons out of the bathroom. We're going to go shut down that USAID that's giving all those other countries your money. pacifier policy. All of that stuff is easy. It's nothing for them to give us these little things. Though they have much meaning to us because we're just small little people, plebs, living off crumbs, of course. We need every damn dime. But it's manipulative to exploit the vulnerable as such. But this is how governments work. And you think you can trust them now? That they have technologies that are so pervasive you can't even see what's going on around you? Fifth generation warfare? Come on, man. Come on, man. Wake up. Wake up. Interestingly, Elon Musk is always posting images and videos of neoliberal Milton Friedman wise words. I'm not even going to play it, just, yeah, because this Musk is a technocrat, but he's also a neoliberal, pretending to be a libertarian. But his goal is to create a new type of system that's going to incorporate all the aspects of neoliberalism plus communism. And it's just, we won't spend any time on that. It's just plenty of evidence when you see who they constantly praise. You know what it's all about. And here we have Ben Goertzel. And the reason I pulled this, where he's responding to the emergence of DeepSeek, is because DeepSeek, as I had mentioned in the show where we spent a lot of time talking about it, is also a part of this. As a type of accelerant through conflict versus Doge or versus Elon Musk and his systems. Here, Ben Goertzel describes perfectly how this is good for the singularity, how this is good for this type of quantum entanglement plus human biodigital convergence to come together and to actually bring the singularity to reality. A transhumanist himself that is seeing this clearly and plainly.
Fundamentally, the rational impact of DeepSeek on the equity and crypto markets for AI is great. It's like you can do more AI with less money now. This is tremendously good for everyone in the AI market. It's just one more piece of evidence the singularity is coming fast, right? And if we want the singularity to be beneficial, we need to ensure it remains decentralized, global, and open. And the fact that DeepSeek came from China, from a different side of the world than most of the recent AI innovations, and that it's open source. I mean, this is a beautiful piece of evidence that the singularity may well be beneficial because AGI may well be decentralized, global, and open, right?
So now you see, I'd say a much more sophisticated and knowledgeable and consistent transhumanist opposed to Elon Musk is all on board with this. All on board because he knows what this leads to. He knows what the DeepSeeks and the open AIs and the Doge interconnectivity of mass networks biodigitally converged. He knows where this is going, and he is quite excited.
I mean, DeepSeek certainly isn't AGI. It's not like a revolution. It's an efficiency optimization. It's a step along the way, but it is an exciting step in this overall dance we're all doing in this final few years before the singularity. It's going to bring us AGI and ASI and a whole bunch of other amazing consequences.
A whole bunch of other amazing consequences. Amazing. I like how he puts that on the end there. Amazing. Fascinating. And then I saw this here to tie in this idea of how he's praising the decentralized nature of a lot of these, say, DeepSeek, OpenAI, trying to decentralize things such that humans and normal people can take advantage of these singularity technologies and not fall victim to the centralization of, say, the globalists, et cetera, this false dichotomy here. The decentralized libertarian argument is very powerful and rational, and it's working. But here's another example of how everything is being deconstructed as Trump comes in like a bull in a china shop, destroying everything so it can be built built back better, but built back with a completely new system, a new network state-like scenario under this false guise of nationalism. You see a lot of rightists thinking this is great. Look, we're getting back to nationalism. We're going to put jobs back in America. All of these pacifier policies, I call them, that are good for us little people. But when we see the grand scheme of these things, oh, they pale in comparison. Here's another example of this breaking up or this decentralizing, as we would talk about de-globalization. Now we get into this idea of decentralizing, say, the internet, breaking up the big oligarchic corporate companies, because now we're breaking it down into little tech, into small little corners in Silicon Valley, or single individuals who become billionaires because of some algorithm they've created. Fascinating future, but at the same time, this all leads to singularity. And this is all an attack, I would say, and an imposition on the human essence, on the imago Dei, the image of God, and human dignity, human integrity. This is an existential threat that far too many people don't fully understand. But here's an example. Breaking up Google would offer a chance to remodel the web. Yeah, Web 3. Okay, so we're going through a decentralization process. We're going through a de-globalization process. They have to get us to focus on the globalists because de-globalization is actually happening beneath it all. The globalists, all of these old aristocratic type of systems, old money, all of that is going away. And it's already been in the process, guys. This has been long overdue. That's why that's why the global kind of networks are going to impact cap and all of this stuff. See, the decentralized libertarian technocrat side are going to have their own version of impact cap. It's just their version at the end of the day. But to the general population, everything is going to be extremely invasive. And by the time it's here, it's going to be too late. That's the thing. It's going to be too late. When people complain about it and, I didn't sign up for this, I didn't vote for this, well, it's too damn late. People have been telling you for years. People have been telling you for years, man. All right. All right. And then you got guys like this. And man, I used to really like this dude. He's a funny guy. And I agree with a lot of his political positions at times. But it's stuff like this that is getting us where we're going fast.
Elon Musk, I have this to say to you on behalf of the American people. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been incredible. We really appreciate it. Keep going.
Yeah, right there. That's the stuff. That's a perfect example at a celebrity level of cultural futurism. This new culture, popular culture that praises futurists and futurism, advancing technology, completely oblivious to its relationship with humanness. This is the problem. We're so disconnected from these concepts that people just go with it. Okay. Now let's go to Israel. Let's go to Israel. This is crazy. All right, let me pull up these clips here. Okay. All right. So yeah, digitalism versus capitalism. All of this Soros talk, this is what it is. Isn't it interesting how I've been laying this out in these shows, and then literally the next week, now we have this whole Soros thing, USAID and Soros. Isn't it kind of interesting? To me, it's a little creepy because it's almost like every show we do, the next week, they pull out something that directly connects to something we were talking about. It's just a little weird, very, very weird. But now, guess who's all in the news? USAID and Soros against Musk. So interesting. So now, yeah, MIGA, my MIGA Trump. Shout out to my MIGA Trump, man. Representing MIGA, not MAGA. MIGA, make Israel great again. Yes. And this whole listen, man, they got people so fooled right now. It's the art of the deal, guys. Art of the deal. You're referencing a corporate studio production, well, you're fired. Art of the deal, man. Art of the deal. No, bro. No. That's not how any of this works. Where my niggas at, man? Shout out to all my niggas out there. My nigga Trump in the House representing. Now, art of the deal. No, it's trust the plan 2.0. It's Q light. Okay. It's Q light. All right. All right, guys. Okay. All right, guys. You and your 5D chess. Say 5D chess one more time. Just one more time. And I might have to get out my chair again. I might have to get out my seat one more time, man. I swear it's brainwashing, literal brainwashing with this stuff, man. Mega, please. I love it. Yeah, man, that's what it is. It ain't deep. It ain't deep. It ain't nothing super deep. So we don't got to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just, it's Q light. It's trust the plan 2.0. It ain't really anything outside of that. Now check this out. Just to get it straight here, it is mega to all my megas in the house.
We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make them both great again, greater than ever before.
Yeah, sure, because that's what's important. That's what American people needs, right? That's what American people need. That's what we need. That's what we should be concerned with. Now check this out. Listen, man, people are saying he's a Christian and all of this. We're going to get into that. Paula White and all of that. Wow. Wow. Can you believe it? Did I not just do a show focusing on the fake Christian right? And literally the next week, what does Trump do? He opens up a faith office in the White House. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know how this is happening, man. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises to the Most High. That's all I can say, because it's kind of scary and kind of creepy. But all praises to the Most High, man. Anyhow, let's keep it moving.
Peter?
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to.
Now, I just want you to listen to this. This is not a Christian speaking. This is a very cold and detached and heartless person speaking about humans. All right? This is scary right here.
Return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places.
Because it's their home, sir. What do you mean? Why would they want to return to their home where they live? Why would they want to go to a place like that where they could just go somewhere else? We'll put them on an island and we'll feed them bonbons and Krispy Kreme.
Places on Earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. So if we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, it could be Egypt, it could be other countries.
Can you see? Can you see this? He's like, we're just going to find another place to put the damn people. Might be here, might be there. And did you talk to Egypt? Did you have a conversation with Mr. Jordan? Huh? You see how these people be talking? Throwing up gang signs and everything. You're just gonna transplant people into other countries? Yeah, sounds familiar, doesn't it?
And you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area. But you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die. Because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again.
Why? Why is that? Maybe because they're being slaughtered. Maybe because they're experiencing a genocidal onslaught, a human violation of gargantuan proportions. Maybe that's why, bro.
It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again. as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back?
That's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. He's talking about people, man. Why would they want to go back to their home where they're being hunted? You see this? You see this? This is a Christian. This is a leader worth worshiping. This is your king? And now, I damn near fell out my seat when I saw this. This dude is talking about, well, we're just going to buy the damn place. We're just going to own it. We're going to own Gaza.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.
Oh, wow. Can you listen, guys? I don't agree with this for 1 second. Do you know what kind of trouble is coming? If we do something as crazy as that, step into the middle of that well, maybe not 1,000 year, but long-term conflict that we have no business in outside of getting the hell out of this whole arrangement we have with Israel, that's the first thing we need to do. Can you believe this? Yeah, Pope. Shout out to Pope. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, Pope Devani V. Sandbox. Sandbox. The latest sandbox. Can you believe this, guys? I mean, this is legitimately scary talk, bro. Do you understand what kind of can of worms you about to open? Man.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't. The only reason.
It is absolutely mind-blowing that he's even considering this. And this cannot be. I hope this is just some lip service, another one of these crazy things he says. This is crazy. When I saw this, I was like, oh man, what's next? What's next with this dude, man? Oh. And then there's this. Handing the keys to the White House. Yes, to a genocidal maniac, absolutely. Can you believe this?
Love that. This was a special token of affection given by.
He said token of affection. This is a straight up bromance over here. What? Yeah, 5D chess, right? Sure. Oh, it's 5D chess, guys. Trust the plan, guys.
Myself and the First Lady to
Mega tripping.
Prime Minister
for
and
real.
the First Lady of Israel.
Mega tripping.
It's a key. We call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts.
Wait, man. Stop.
Shall we play?
Stop it right now. Now. What are you talking about? Key to our hearts? What?
And to our hearts. And you've been, we call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts. And you've been an amazing leader for a long period of time, and this is, in many respects, the big day, because this is something that's very special. And we just left UAE and Bahrain. We're going to meet outside in a ceremony, and it's just a very important event, and it's an honor to have you with us, baby. Thank you very much.
And the name, too. It's an honor to have you with us, baby. Sound like he said baby. Sound like he called him baby. It's an honor to have you with us, baby. Sick. This is the king, allegedly a Christian, Really?
He's supposed to be a man of principles, too.
I'm telling you. Wow. And this one did it for me. This one did it for me. I was about done. I saw this. I closed up, logged out, logged off, as we used to do back in the day. I logged the hell on off after I saw this. Yo, he's man, he was on time, wasn't he? He was straight clutch. Donald Clutch. Can you believe it? Everyone went wild. Look at this. Oh, there you go, baby. Sorry. I got your seat ready for you. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I know the Dream Detective. I know. We know he's not a Christian, of course, right? But I mean, people are out here, you know, he's Christian. He got Paula White in the White House. We're gonna protect Christians now because we have a what is it? A religious office or whatever. Come on. And he giving baby keys to our heart. Man. Stop it. And then we got this dude, another one of these kind of players in the game, the Hegseth.
We've supplied munitions that were previously not supplied, that are useful in eradicating radical enemies, and we are committed to continue to do so.
Damn. Straight up with it. We know who you serve. Nigga out here tripping. Nigga out here talking about eradicating radical enemies at will. And he's happy and proud. I mean, this is warfare. Let's not get it twisted, right? This is straight up warfare. We understand how it works. But it's demonic.
We've supplied munitions that were previously not supplied, that are useful in eradicating radical enemies, and we are committed to continue to do so.
Yes, we're committed to continue to slaughter innocent human beings at will. As long as you say so, baby. This makes a whole lot more sense now, doesn't it? But we don't gotta go there right now. Oh, now. Yeah, Trump's talking about we're just gonna buy the Gaza Strip. We're just gonna own it, he said. Trifling nigga. Shout out to Melody's child. Shout out to Cookie Cruncher as well. Good to see you. Oh, Escovel. Scoville. I always say Escovel. Scoville, good to see you, man. Yeah. Yeah, trifling nigga. I'm telling you, man. We're just gonna own it, he said. Can you believe it? Can you believe the language? You know, we're just gonna own it. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's just too far out there. I pray it doesn't happen. Anyhow, some people got some things to say about it. Do you ever consider what Palestinians might think?
Gaza Strip is not a free land for anyone to grab it. The Gaza Strip, it belongs to the Palestinian people and the Palestinian people who live in the Gaza Strip. It is not a free piece of land for anyone to grab. Those days in history are gone.
Facts. Okay, let's consider what we're talking about here. This could end up very messy. Yes, the Dream Detective, spot on. Christians won't need to vote, he said, is a very sus comment. Absolutely. And indeed, when we talked about that and we played that clip and I was alluding to the fact that this could be part of the digital governance coming, makes a whole lot of sense with the whole Doge move, doesn't it? Hey, man, if they're going to make government more efficient, don't you think they would probably make voting more efficient? Who's more logical? Who's more rational than an algorithm? Surely not a human. Goodness.
Every piece of land in any country belongs to the people who live on this piece of land. Therefore, you know, we are determined to stay in the Gaza Strip. And it is not true that they don't have an alternative, because the people who were in the southern part of the Gaza Strip, when the checkpoints of the Israeli occupying forces were removed from the midsection between the north and the south, 400,000 in a span of 2 days, 2 hours each day, walked on their feet to go back to the northern part. Now, for some people might not understand the meaning of Gaza.
Now, I can't even believe this is a thing. I really can't. Let's pray. Let's pray, man, because yes, they may be neoliberals, but they're also neocons, and we know neocons love blood. Oh, well, gets a little more serious, doesn't it? When China responds. China says Gaza belongs to the Palestinians and is their land, not a bargaining chip in political deals. Damn. Damn. This isn't going to end well. And what's even more disturbing is baby Netanyahu gave Trump a golden pager. Y'all see this? This is wild, man. I mean, I can't even call this a troll. This is just straight up satanic. Israel PM Netanyahu gave Trump a golden pager during the White House meeting, and you know what this is referring to. And by the way, what time does it say on it? Yeah, 3:30. Hey, this is wild. I mean, they're just putting this stuff out here like this. Not only is it 3:30 p.m., but y'all know what that date is. This is like demon trolling. You know how the kids, they be like, oh, he's on demon time? Yeah. Baby Netanyahu is on demon time. 3:30 p.m., by the way, time. Real demon time. Let me remind you what that date is. Yeah. September 17th, 2024. Y'all remember this? The exploding pagers? It's disgusting. Runway 33, shout out to Mars Gold. It's all making a lot of sense, isn't it? We've been connecting the dots. Y'all that come to the show, y'all know. Y'all know. We've been trying to break this stuff down forever. And it's all lining up. Look at that. Man, that's a demon troll. Woo! Boy. Diabolical. Yes. Shout out to Pretty Crystal Clear. That's diabolical. I'm telling you. Man, look at this. He got the date on there and everything. And this is going out to the general public. This is news, guys. See, man, these people are straight evil as hell. They're demonic. They're creatures. They're real creatures. Someone here, and I agree. Look at this. He said, Satan Yahoo's pager gift to Donald Trump is actually a threat to remind him who actually runs the USA. If America was not occupied, he should have been arrested as per the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant. Interesting. Diabolical. Absolutely. And man, listen, look at these clips here I'm about to play you here. One clip, 1986 interview, he claims it is terrorism to kill the wives and children of enemy officers or civilians. Since October 7th, Netanyahu has been responsible for killing thousands of children. Interesting. Let's see what he says. Let's go back to 1986 right quick.
Let me give you an evil far greater, actually greater than the evil of apartheid. Apartheid is one of the great evils of the world today, but on a comparative basis, it pales even before the evil of Nazi
rules for thee, but not for me. Let's not forget that one.
Occupation of Europe. I would say that the Nazi occupation of Europe, with the slaughter of millions, was perhaps the greatest evil, not in this century, but in history. Now, it's interesting that, and I take my example from France, none of the resistance movements in Nazi-occupied Europe, and especially the French resistance, none of the resistance movements practiced or even condoned the practice of terrorism. They did not bomb to smithereens German children and the wives of German officers who were readily available as targets. They didn't do this because no cause justifies terrorism. And they were fighting for honorable causes, as honorable fighting men.
That don't really add up, considering what we've been witnessing as of late. Doesn't really add up, does it? But again, none of these guys are honest people. Here's another one. This one might make you sick to your stomach, especially if you're an American. Can you guys read that? Not just one blow, but blows that are so painful that the price will be too heavy to be borne. The price is not too heavy to be borne now. A broad attack on the Palestinian Authority. To bring them to the point of being afraid that everything is collapsing. Wait a moment, but then the world will say, how come you're conquering again? The world won't say a thing. The world will say we're defending. Aren't you afraid of the world, BB? Especially today with America? I know what America is. America is something that can easily be moved to the right direction. They say they're for us, but it's like they won't get in our way. They won't get in our way. On the other hand, if we do something, then they. So let's say they say something. So they said it. 80% of the Americans support us. It's absurd. We have that kind of support, and we say, what will we do with the... Look, that administration, Clinton administration, was extremely pro-Palestinian. I wasn't afraid to maneuver there. See, they're not threatened at all. He knows what it is. I don't got to continue, man. Because basically he just says, we own America. Migga ain't lying. Migga spitting facts. Migga. My Migga. Making Israel great again. Let's go back again. USA is not a unified bloc. We have the Senate, the Congress, and a record-strong Jewish lobby on our side. We have a strong influence over the general support in America. A lot of that has to do with the Christian right and the Christian movement. That's, I would argue, not Christian at all. With all the churches. A lot of people say, oh, you're not a Christian, you're anti-Israel. I'm not anti-anybody. I'm about truth. I don't even play into that anti-crap. Don't put anti in front of anything regarding what I'm doing. I'm about truth. And if you ask me, well, let me just say, read Revelations 2:9 if you want to know how I feel. But let's continue.
אבל אנחנו הולכים למסלול התנגשות עם הממשל האמריקאי. ארצות הברית זה לא מקשה אחת, זה לא מקשה אחת. יש את הסנאט, יש את הקונגרס, יש את הכוח היהודי.
We have the Senate, the Congress, and a record-strong Jewish lobby. They know the deal. They know the deal. We have a strong influence over the general support. See? Influence. Big time. We know the deal. Let's see. Okay, so here's recently Trump talking about, hey guys, he's having some spiritual movement all of a sudden. Yeah, the guy talking about we're just gonna buy Gaza and we're just gonna displace all of these people and just, put them in one of these other countries, right? But apparently he's getting closer to God. All right, okay.
Honestly, it changed something in me. I feel even stronger. I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it.
Oh, how convenient.
Something happened. So, thank you.
How convenient.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I just don't buy none of this stuff, man. Oh, you're so pessimistic. You're so negative. Again, no, it's truth. Being real. You can put any negativistic term in front of it. It's reality. It's showing what it is. Pretty simple. I know emotions, don't seem to like it, but,
The element, the everything that's going to be happy. People of religion are going to be happy again. And I really believe you can't be happy without religion, without that belief. I really believe it. I just don't see how you can be.
You see how he doesn't mention Christ. He doesn't mention anything about Jesus. He appeals to the loose term religion, which could mean just about anything. See, because this is about something much bigger, much, much bigger.
So let's bring religion back. Let's bring God back into our lives. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Great honor. Thank you.
Listen, man, yes, of course. Let's do that. But let's be a little bit more specific first. Let's be a little bit more specific. And let's see some fruits. I don't see any fruits, man. I'm sorry. I just see a lot of lip service. Not to mention, I understand the ploy. I understand the appeal to the Christian right. I understand the use of Christianity as a religion opposed to its true faith, its biblical faith. I understand this. And actually, let me pull this up quickly here. Because I spoke on this on the twit. Shout out to everybody who retweeted my stream today. I appreciate you guys. And everyone who shares not just wherever you share it. I really appreciate you. Because the algorithms ain't helping us. Here we go. Right here. I said, since 2016, I felt Trump would be used as a catalyst for Christian persecution, a false light, a Luciferian spirit that seeks perfection and glory at the expense of the true biblical faith. His religion and his false god seek to throw out the baby, biblical Christianity. Just an idea, but I've always felt this way. Ever since he stepped in to this political position, especially since he went conservative, because he's always been a Democrat. Trump has always been a Democrat. So the only way he's even going to survive as a conservative is appeal to the Christian, and I know he's not Christian. So it's just it's sad as a Christian, as a man of the faith, a God-fearing man of the faith. It's sad to see our faith being exploited this way. Now, I know some people are saying, oh, well, it's a good thing because I guess it wants to protect, Christian beliefs. I mean, that's great, sure, but I don't need politics to protect my belief. I already know we're going to be hated for the truth. I already know we're going to be hated for saying his name. I already know that. I don't need some politician to protect me in that sense. Persecution as a Christian is just something that we're aware of and we accept as believers. So this whole safety and security for your religion is nonsense to me. If we're going to bring God back or whatever he's talking about, we show that through our behaviors. through how we operate in the world, being not of it. We show that as examples. We raise children. We have families and communities. We present it to the earth. We are that beacon of light, if you will. We don't need a politician to do that for us. I'm sorry. And again, it just speaks to the illiterate aspect of all of these guys, Bible-wise. Silly. Oh, but we need Christian. Listen, man, go read your Bible. And sit down somewhere. Go read your Bible. I'm sick and tired of this crap. It's just amazing the stuff you see on the internet these days. Now, here we go. Paula White, who called BLM the Antichrist, named by Trump as head of new White House faith office. So you know we're going to get this angle. You know we are. We are already victorious. Amen. Thank you, Cookie Cruncher. We know the deal. We know what time it is, man. And the closer we get, we know it's going to get hotter and hotter. We don't need a man to protect us. We're under the blood. We're under the Most High God in Christ. We don't need some politician and some religious office. It's like, come on. Come on, man. So you know we're going to get this helter-skelter angle, right? Because it's all about getting rid of real biblical Christianity. Because why? Because Christianity is racist. You know, it's bigotry. It's patriarchal, all of that. Just wait till they start trying to influence policy with this office. Do you understand the backlash that's coming? And let me show you who Paula White is. Okay, let me show you who Paula White is. And this might get a little controversial for the Christians because I understand some people, you know, maybe in churches like this. Do a little research on the woman and then, you know, make your decision. But this is what we got here.
And strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus. From South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa. From South America. Angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Pika hata anda ata. Ora bata rata ande eke eke manda rasata. For I hear the sound of victory. 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 I hear the sound of victory.
Lord, help me, Father, Jesus' name, Jesus' name. Oh, Father, help me. What the heck, man? Where are we at? What time is it? What is going on? Hello? Hello? Anybody in there? What the heck is going on?
Reinforcement. Fika hata anda ata ora bata rata anda eke manda rasata. For I hear the sound of victory.
Ooh,
I hear.
jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. Wow. And you know, I've heard speaking in tongues, but that is something else. I don't know what that is, guys. I'm sorry. I've heard tongues. I don't know what that is. Okay. Listen. I don't know. I think I think that might do it, guys. I think that might do it for today. Yeah. I think that might do it for today. It was acting. It better have been acting. The problem is her audience didn't know that was acting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, demonic tongue. There we go. Wow. Interesting times, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the mods. All right, guys, I'm going to get myself out of here. I thank you guys for being with me for episode 120. Shout out to the patrons and the locals, all of those at the members spot. Hope you guys are enjoying the content over there. Shout out to the Wake Up Show crew, the morning show we do on the backup channel. Looking forward to the shows we got this week. Tuesday and Wednesday mornings, we do a show over on the backup channel. Just a fun, kind of chill, random culture topics, just fun stuff. A la Nightline, OG show from the past. Appreciate all of you guys. Yeah, man, I got a lot more content. You know, I've been working. Y'all see it? I've been working. Yeah, we got a new schedule. We got a whole new, vibe and a whole new level of energy for the 2025. So, and we're just getting started. Trust me, I got a bunch of new stuff for February and then some stuff for March and then some stuff for April. Just wait. We just getting started, man. We have not yet even begun to reach final form as we develop more and more here. And I appreciate you guys coming with me on this beautiful spirited journey here. So all praises to the Most High. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. I'm going to end the show as always by saying all praises to the Most High God. In Jesus' name, amen and shalom.